Hi everyone.
What's up?
Andrew and Julia here, obviously. We are going to be going live with our good friend Bridget, so we're very excited to invite her to talk a little bit about art, about faith, about Christmas preparations. So let's get her on the
It's
call.
the season. I'm gonna invite her right now. Give me 1 second. Spelt that wrong. All right.
There we go. Let's see if she joined.
Get in here.
She's watching, so
I know you're watching us, Bridget.
Hello. All right. Talk a little bit about yourself. No, I'm kidding. So this is Bridget. She started the pages of TheBridge.Art. So Bridget, talk to us a little bit about what you do.
So I started TheBridge.Art. It was like, I originally started, it wasn't actually supposed to be like Catholic art Instagram. It was just supposed to be like an Instagram for me to like just share my artwork. And then when I just kind of felt like a call because I had started to make like a lot more religious art. And I was like, I think like this might be like a really good way to like show my faith and like share my faith. And so I kind of was like, okay, you know, I'm gonna say yes. And so I was like, I'm just going to do like Catholic artwork. And so I was really happy at that moment. And so that's what I've been doing so far. So like feast days, certain saints, certain quotes. I have a couple other things in the work, but I'm very good at procrastinating. So
I can't wait to see this other stuff that you have in the works. Start an Etsy shop already because it is so good. Like, look at that. Look at that.
Here's the other thing. So Bridget has made some art for, this is like the night prayer, protect us Lord as we stay awake prayer. So Bridget's made some of the art for us.
For us, that'll be in our home. So
yes, which we're very excited for.
I'm very excited.
I'm very honored to make those pieces.
Yeah.
So we need you to start an Etsy shop though. So besides like those pieces, what other kind of like faith do you put into your art? Like do you like, those are wood burned plaques, but what other like media do you use? How else do you include your faith in your art?
I used to do like a lot of like acrylic or watercolor, but I've recently been moving into a lot more of graphic design, just because it's a lot more efficient, it's a lot less time consuming, although I do really like doing watercolor. But graphic design is it's much easier, less time consuming. It looks better on Instagram because like sometimes if you don't get like right lighting to take a picture of something, it could just turn out all wrong. And so I've been doing that. I do love wood burning though. It's super fun. And painting flowers is just fantastic.
So as we can tell.
I love your flowers.
But I gotta ask you a question. Like, what has been your favorite piece you've made or you've gotten to put up on Instagram? And we'll share that one later on the page. So.
I actually do have an answer for this. My favorite piece I've ever made was I made a Saint Teresa of Calcutta jacket, and she's like my girl. We're best friends. And so I got to make that jacket, and it has her face on it. It has a whole bunch of flowers, and then it has like a great quote on the back, which I love, which is "Spread love everywhere you go. Let no one leave without feeling happier." And I was just like, and so I have that jacket, but then I'm always like really embarrassed to wear it out because I feel like it's a real statement piece. And so like I'll just wear it as I walk around my town. So I'm like, oh no, maybe someone will see it.
Well, you've had offers for people to like buy it, right? Yeah.
Like people have seen it and they'll have texted, they'll DM me and be like, hi, I don't know if you're interested in like selling it or making a new one. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so nice. No.
No, it's mine.
No, this took like 3 months.
That's awesome. So like what was like your first like religious art? Like what was like the first thing that you were like, oh wait, I can like, this is like, I can really include my faith in my art?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That could have been a lot. But like if you remember.
Like I was drawing Jesus right out of the womb. I was just
I think it might have been somewhere, I think it was around a saint's feast day, and I don't really remember which one it was, but I think I was praying their novena, And then I was like, oh, I'll just like make a little like thing, because I don't remember what it was. And then I was like, I'll just draw them. And then I think I might put a little quote with it. I was like, oh, that looks really nice. I'll post it on the Instagram. And then I was like, oh, I could do that.
Like, oh, I could do this. That's awesome. But what was your, like, did you like, so like, I don't know if you call yourself an artist, like if you're introducing yourself, like, oh yeah,
she is an artist.
But like she is. So if you do that, like, did you have like an aha moment, like this is like,
you're like,
I could do this.
I'm an artist. Like,
did you have like an aha moment of creating something and realizing like this is actually something I can do and something I can give as gifts and like really create this?
Well, I don't know if it was ever an aha moment, because it was like, so when I was little and like birthdays or like Christmas would roll around, and like when you're a little kid, you can't go out to the store and buy stuff for your family. So like my way of giving gifts was like, I'll just make them like a little art, like it wasn't good. I was 5 years old, but it was like, I'll make them like a little painting or a little drawing or something, and then you give them to that for Christmas. So I kind of did that. But then when I was getting older, I was like, you know, I had like a moment of like self-doubt where it's like, nobody wants your artwork for Christmas. You did that when you were a little kid. You know, you should get them gifts. And so I give them gifts. But then like, I remember, I think it was like my dad's birthday, and I had gotten him a gift, and he was like, what, no card? Because I was really expecting like a Bridget's artwork card. And so it's like, oh shoot, wait, people actually want it. So I think that would probably be like the aha moment. It's like, no, Bridget, people actually like it. You can do that.
We like it a lot.
I know there's been like a couple times where you'll like post something, you'll send me something and be like, hey, should I post this? Especially as you first started like your page, and I was like, yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So what are you like? I remember last year, I think for Advent you were making like digital art of like the Advent wreath each Sunday. So like you were posting for each Sunday, you're posting reflections and the readings and things. For each Sunday you were lighting a new candle of your Advent wreath that you were drawing. But like, do you have like what else are you doing for Advent prep? Are you doing anything spiritual? Is it just a lot of like Christmas prep?
I've been so the Catholic link, I saw one of their posts and they had like this thing, it was like 5 steps for like preparing for Advent, and I cannot remember them all right now, but it was like make room in your heart for Jesus, decorate your heart with like hope and joy, clean out like the cupboards or something, and it was like go to confession. And then it was like there's another one that I cannot remember, and then like the last one was like you know, prepare in a spirit of prayer and silence for the coming of Jesus. And then I've also been doing, it was like at the start of December to January, it was either start of December to start Advent to Christmas. It's like on this website that, forgive me, I cannot remember the name of, and it's like every day there's a prayer and prep for Advent. So that's what I've been doing. There has been a lot of procrastination with me with artwork, just because I've been making like gifts for friends and family, but I'm hoping to get something out definitely for Christmas, or maybe last week of Advent I'll have a reflection and something.
Well, I always like on your page you share like so many reflections with your religious art, so like I always say like you need to start a blog because like your art, like it's a lot of your own personal reflections on like how you created it, and like reflections on like for like JP2's feast day, you share like this beautiful.
It was awesome.
Reflection about JP2's life that we were both like,
we're like share, yes.
So stuff like that. Like, so what did you? When did you get into that? Like sharing like less just like, oh, I made this yesterday, and more into like the John Paul II was from Krakow, Poland, and he was born on this day, and getting more into like the blogging and the faith sharing side of your art.
Yeah, I think it was, I had come across, there's this one great JP2 quote that I actually have in my room. It's like on this one, it's one of those boards, like the whiteboards where you can like move the letters around. And so I had originally got that as like a birthday gift. And so I had come across this same quote from JP2, which I absolutely love, and it's like, life with Christ is a wonderful adventure. And I always love that quote. And so I have it up in my room, and I decided to do like an art piece on it, and it was of hot air balloons with like a sunset. Because whenever I think of the word adventure, I don't know what it is. Like hot air balloons, it's like, yes, that is adventure. That's like peak adventure. And so I had done that, and then I don't know what it was. Like, it was just, I'm just gonna say it was God working through me. That's what I'm just gonna call it. Because he was like, you should write a better caption than just what you put on the artwork. And so I was like, okay. And so I had done like a little reflection on the quote, and then I was like, I don't think it was even like a, you should do that next time. It was kind of like, now you have to. And so
now. That's kind of how we got started, because we were both on our own faith pages. I had Genuine Feminine, and he has this one that he remained anonymous on, so I won't name it. And like, I got started on Genuine Feminine, just kind of think, like, I was sharing like, oh, on my personal Instagram story, like, oh, today's the Saints Feast Day, and then trying to share a lot about that saint, realizing like, this, like, I could just post this, like, I could actually like start doing this. So during the pandemic, I was definitely like, oh wait, like I can actually like share, and I have the resources and the knowledge to like actually share about this Saints Feast Day or this aspect of our faith. So like, I think you kind of had that.
Yeah. Too. And then I was like, Julia, like, why don't I just make a joint page? Like, come on, let's get to it, you know? But that happened.
I want to interrupt. We got a question in here. Is Andrew better at catching or pitching? I'm a huge baseball fan. Okay.
I was a pitcher during my baseball career that, yeah. We're not going to get into all the details. And I did both, actually. I did both.
He's really good at catching when I throw stuff at him around the
Who
house.
is the St. Thomas Aquinas superfan?
I don't know. That's a great
feel like
name.
Bridget, I feel like that's one of your friends, family.
That's okay. Who else? Neil said hi. Hi, Neil.
Hi, Neil.
We went to high school with Neil and Bridget.
But Bridget, like, do you have any like major pieces that you're like looking forward to share, or it's in the works, or is it just like the one for Christmas and you're like gonna be like, now I'm gonna rebound, like continue on after that, or you got like in the works?
I do have some sort of things in the work, because I remember like when I see something that's like, oh, I could like do something with that with art, I'll like screenshot it. And so I have an album on my phone, and it's just called Art Inspo. And so there's certain ones that I do, like, I really want to get to. So there's like, I want to do artwork on like each one of like the mysteries, like each group of mysteries, and then like get a reflection going on that. I also have a couple blog posts that I want to do. The one thing is that I'm like really bad at writing, so it takes me a while. So literally before like I sit down, like, you have to do the caption, I'm like, God, guide my words. You're much better at writing than I am.
See, I like to write, and I still didn't even write our captions. Andrew does all the captions. I just do all the graphics. So.
You inspired the Gospels.
You can inspire me now.
You can inspire me now to write this caption. God's like, hey. Really? But like, I'm not saying I'm God, but like, he's like looking down at you as I'm looking down. Hey, we're just, you know, something like that. You're like, yes, I'm gonna get. Your captions are amazing.
They are.
Yeah.
They really are. I do want to ask you, so my favorite thing that you've shared on your page is your wood burnt crates.
Ooh, yes.
And the doors. So I want you to share a little bit about those.
So
the wood burning.
What?
Wood burning is like an interesting facet of what you do. I want you to talk. And again, I'm going to share
the woodworker.
The woodworker. So I'm going to share again for everyone who's joined, since these are both wood burnt. Bridget has made them for us because she's so sweet. Not just painted on; they're like actually like etched in. So Bridget, I want you to talk a little bit more about your wood.
Oh. So wood burning, it was, my dad had originally got into it when I was younger. My dad's a fantastic artist. He's way too humble to ever like talk about it, but he's genuinely amazing. He's what got me into artwork. And so he had gotten into wood burning. And then at the time when he had started, he was like, you're too young. I'm not letting you get close to a hot metal pen. And so then when I was like older, he was like, yeah, okay, you're fine. And so I had started doing it. And I really liked it. And then when last year during the pandemic, my dad and I were like doing like a lot of like projects around the house. And so one of the things was like my bed was kind of falling apart. And so he was like, let's make you a new bed. And so he was like, do you want like storage compartments underneath it? I was like, oh yeah, that would be like great, you know, so I could, you know, put stuff in there. And so I was like, how about we make like crates for them? And that was like where it started. Like I didn't even like think about like adding like to anything onto it. I was like, it would be kind of cool if I like made each like crate have a saint on it. And it's kind of funny because some of the crates like actually like kind of like bounce back to like what's in them goes with the saint. So it's like Saint Faustina has like all art supplies because, you know, she was instructed, you got to get that painting made. And so I was like, this is actually like kind of, I really love the way that they turned out, the way that it was like, I don't know, it felt right. And I was actually I was very privileged enough for one of my friends was getting married. And she was like, can you make one of the crates for me for my wedding for like the cards, for like to put all the cards in it? I was like, of course. And so she wanted the JP2 one. And so I just remade that one for her. And I was like,
Etsy shop.
So, because I remember for the JP2, you had written towards Tuis, but like with his signature, right? Oh, that's awesome.
Because I actually had spoken to a good friend of ours who's a seminarian and you about, because I was like, there were some saints where like, I know I want this saint, but I couldn't tell like what I wanted, like because each one has a symbol or like something to represent. And so I didn't know like what I wanted it to be. And so I remember I wanted Totus Tuus, but and then I got his handwriting because I felt like just the words was like not enough. And when I was doing Saint Faustina, I couldn't figure out what to do for Saint Faustina, and he had suggested doing Jesus I Trust in You, and so I was like, oh, that's really good.
Oh, it was Patrick.
Yeah, it was Patrick.
Okay, so our good friend Patrick O'Brien's seminarian for our diocese, and we will be going live with him shortly after Christmas. So stay tuned.
Fun.
Just a little plug in there for
Patrick. And then we have
what do we have
next week.
Next week we have our friend Dennis again, and he's also in seminary. So we have a couple coming up to share their vocation stories. Andrew, scratch your head if you're being held hostage.
Who are you guys? What's going on?
I don't even know. I don't know.
I've never seen you guys before, but welcome to Striving for Holiness. But yeah, so we have a bunch of people, but we wanted to kick it off with Bridget because, you know, she's the artist whom we love again. Like,
so
yes.
Oh, wait, actually, so you mentioned St. Faustina, Jesus I Trust in You, and the art supplies. And tomorrow's the feast day of Our Lady of Guadalupe. So between the image of the Divine Mercy image, Jesus I Trust in You, which is the image of Christ walking towards us with his heart overflowing with the white and red rays, and the image of Our Lady of Guadalupe, which appeared on Juan Tilma when he was going to his bishop to propose a build on the site. I'm like, we're getting so recently found you from Keep Smiling Foundation. Excited! Keep smiling, follower. Got the bracelet. Excellent.
Got the bracelet.
So Bridget, so between Juan Diego's Tilma of Our Lady of Guadalupe and the image of Divine Mercy, can you share a little bit more about like do you have like a reflection to share with us about like the importance of visual art in our faith? I mean, I've got like a Holy Family behind me. I love the Holy Family hearts, so like I wear a ring with them, and they have their hearts there. So like, definitely there's connections between.
I got her that ring.
That's something. But do you have like what can you say about that?
Yeah. So the image of Our Lady of Guadalupe, there's actually like a lot of interesting facts about it. I feel like a lot of people don't know. So like the image of Our Lady of Guadalupe, it actually converted a lot of the natives in Mexico to Catholicism because the image, it shows her in front of the sun, right? So the rays are behind her, which is showing that she is better or like not better, but like she is in front of better. She's in front of the sun god, which doesn't exist. And then there's also her standing on top of a moon, like the crescent moon, which shows that she is over the moon god, which also doesn't exist.
Right. I think the sun and moon gods were like the two like most like violent ones. So they did the most sacrifices in the name of the gods. Like one of them was Baal, and I forget the name of the other one. My sister was that. So like they were most like violent gods. So they were like, you know, like I guess the prophets of that time were calling for human sacrifice to please the sun god and the moon god. And Our Lady appeared to kind of end that sacrifice, and the image is her conquering the sun and moon gods.
Yeah,
right?
And then so the image, they actually did, I don't know if it was like an x-ray or something on it, but it actually showed that there was no sketching underneath the paint, which means that, they said at the time, it would almost be impossible for anyone of that time to have painted her without doing a sketch of her beforehand. And as I know, you probably know, it was made on like cactus fabric, and which usually like disintegrates after 40 years. And it is not disintegrated after like hundreds of years. And so it's like, I don't know how much more proof you need to know that it's like, yeah, this is real. So I don't know. I just love the image of Our Lady of Guadalupe. And then the image of Divine Mercy, as you know, Faustina was told that she has to get someone to paint this image. And as we know, we think it's like so beautiful. Saint Faustina actually cried because she thought it was so bad. And but it's like you kind of have to like agree with her. It's like, how can a man-made like match the actual seeing of Jesus? So it's like, okay, I have to agree. And then another thing that I wanted to bring up, I don't know if you could technically call this art, but I've recently been going to this, like, I guess it's like a prayer service. It's part of a prayer group. And so once a month they have a holy hour and then mass. And one of the things that they've really been like promoting is the Holy Shroud. So the image of Jesus' face on the fabric that I cannot remember the name of.
Shroud of
what?
Right. Shroud of Turin.
So that would be Christ's burial cloths after he died, right?
And so they had been talking about it, and one of the things I really didn't know was that actually, if you look at his face with like just love, you can actually receive a lot of graces just from staring upon it. Like not even like the actual piece itself, but a copy of the image. It's like the same thing. So I was like, oh my gosh, I love it. So now I have it hanging in my room.
You have it hanging above your bed so that you can just like.
No, but it's to the side. It's to the side, so I can always just like look across.
I'm gonna go get it. It's downstairs. I'm not gonna get it right now, but we have the image downstairs as well. And there's a beautiful prayer, the Golden Hour prayer towards the Jesus.
I gotta get Asperger's take, but like through art you can like again through art and like the most beautiful relic of them all, the Holy Shroud, one of the many beautiful relics. But you can see how God's grace like was impacted on the artist or this item. So like the Sistine Chapel. Like you see like artwork like that is just moving. Like I didn't get to see it when I went, but I've seen images and it's just like it's like just beyond beautiful. So yeah.
Okay, so we're in my house and my family. I think it was my mom just came in with an image of the Holy Face.
Well,
so my mom just brought this into my room. Thanks, Mom. My mom is watching. Thanks, Mom. So this is the Holy Face Bridget was talking about. Is my ring light in the reflection. So that's the image of the Holy Face Bridget was talking about.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom.
Thank you. But yeah.
That's excellent. That's just wonderful. Anything else?
Does anyone have any questions for our good friend, the artist, and the soon-to-be Etsy shop starter? So everyone now knows.
Actually, I do. Well, if anyone's thinking of any questions,
let us know.
You're welcome. Thanks, Mommy. Do you have any advice for aspiring artists? Like, do you have anything I love to paint like Saint Peg dolls and things, but I'm not really an aspiring artist. So but if anyone's trying to get their work out there, do you have any words of wisdom or anything that you would share or any advice that you would give?
Any advice I would give, if anyone's trying, if you're in that kind of awkward phase where you don't know like kind of what your style is, or you feel like your artwork isn't like you're trying to get better at artwork, I would always just, and it's going to sound very cliche, but practice. Because once you keep doing it, you're going to get your own style. You're going to get better. You're going to, if you look at artwork that you did like even 1 year ago, if you just keep going, you're going to see that there's like so much better progression. For anything going out there, I mean, I only have like 200 followers, which I just recently reached, which is fantastic. But I would just say, just post it out there, and then if people like it, they're going to follow. So you just have to put yourself out there, I guess.
We do have a question for you, Bridge. Why is your background zebra? Any special significance? Question for Bridget.
A lot of significance.
This is actually not mine.
House. We're all in the
same
house.
We're just in different rooms. This is Julia's older sister's old room. This is not mine. I'm not a very big fan of zebra print, but you know, we're it's great.
The options in that room were like a bright pink wall, there's zebra pattern.
Yeah, so you know, we went with the
pattern.
It's a vibe. We like the zebra vibe.
Yeah, so that's a good. Any special significance? Yeah, because
Welcome, Nick Bayless. How are you?
Nick Bayless in the house.
Do we have any other questions? Baseball Glover 300. So they have a question. I think they said yes. I don't know if it's really into a question. So do you have a question? Anything else you want to drop? Let us know. We're gonna wrap up in a couple minutes. But go ahead.
I have like some like fun ones. Yeah.
You were kicked out of art school once. No. Oh, that's bad. Bridget, did you ever take art lessons?
No. I never took art lessons.
You were just born this way.
Homeschooling affords a lot of practice.
Yeah.
I had some fun questions for you.
Ooh.
Favorite saint?
Oh, favorite saint. So, I mean, clearly you can't get better than Mary, but like my saint buddy is Saint Teresa of Calcutta. I don't know what it is. She's got such like amazing quotes. Like every time like I find a new quote, I'm like, oh my gosh, how did I not know about this one? And so I actually have a chalkboard door, and so I'm working on putting one of her quotes on my door. And then I have the jacket, and then I have like a whole bunch of other artwork of hers. But she's like my saint buddy. Like we're good pals.
I feel like, so you said Mary first, and like I remember once we were talking to Patrick, our friend who's in seminary, and I asked him who's his favorite saint, and he said asking someone their favorite saint is like asking their favorite fast food, because the answer is obviously besides Mary and Joseph for favorite saint, and for favorite fast food obviously besides Chick-fil-A.
It's closed on a Sunday for a reason.
Oh, whenever someone says like, oh, besides Mary, I'm like, yeah, because like besides Chick-fil-A, what's your favorite fast food? So Baseball Glover 300 said they were kicked out of art school. Do you have any advice for someone who might be blocked from pursuing art for whatever reason that would be, for being removed from art school or unable to go because of the pandemic? Do you have any advice?
I would honestly, I would say it's not necessary. Like if you just practice, and this is gonna sound like very like, oh sure, you know, she's good at art, she can just say that. But there's a lot of other resources like, okay, so for instance, I used to take archery, and in archery, it's more mental than it is physical. It's actually, like they say, like it's 80% mental, 20% physical. If you're not in the right state of mind to, you know, if you're not focused, you can't do it. And there's actually studies who've been shown that if you imagine yourself doing something, so even if, like, say it's archery, and you imagine yourself, you're in the right position, you're pulling the bow up correctly, and you're getting the bullseye, it shows that you can actually, you get better at it. And so I would say that if you just imagine yourself and you really focus and dedicate your time to art, you will get better. And there's a lot of great resources online of people showing you how to draw certain things, how to do different styles. So it's really up to you. You can do it. I believe in you. So I would just say, yeah, dedication, practice, online resources. Art school, smart school. Who needs it?
This coming from a lifelong homeschooler who's never gone to school anyway.
True.
I got another contradictory comment. Question, actually, two questions, but actually no, one. Rosary or Divine Mercy Chapel?
Rosary. I love the rosary. A good rosary walk. Can't beat it.
Can't beat it. Yes. Okay. And if you had to have, besides your favorite Saint Teresa of Calcutta, besides her, if you had to have one relic, and besides Mary and Joseph, if you had to have one relic, which one could you have?
He's just finding out for Christmas gifts. No.
I don't know. I've never really thought much into relics. I know that there was a relic show going around recently, but I've actually never really seen too many relics. I recently saw a relic of St. Ignatius of Loyola and St. Xavier, but I actually haven't seen too many relics, so I couldn't tell you.
So soon, there's a chapel nearby to our house. In our post, we've mentioned a 24-hour chapel that we go to occasionally. So, Bridget, that's Curie in America. And,
We're just like,
we've mentioned going to that chapel, so there's this 24-hour adoration chapel. It's gorgeous. And the new pastor there, I think, was very close with a bishop who had been gifted with just a lot of relics. Just so many beautiful amounts of relics. And there's an entire wall of the chapel that's just covered with framed relics.
And it's not like just the relic. It has like the document that was given with the relic,
yes.
And it's like wax sealed, and it's official, and it's like, when the paper's like printed, yes. With like, it's not signed, but it's like the words are printed into the paper,
yeah.
Like almost as like a mirror image, of it. That is also on it, so it's like these are like official relics that were given.
Oh, we gotta do a little relic tour of that chapel soon because it's gorgeous.
I mean, we are gonna have a series coming out soon of church tours with Julie and Andrew, or just.
That's gonna be fun. I can't wait for that.
We'll have like a relic tour of.
Yeah, we'll bring our traveling JP2.
Our traveling JP2. Yes, we have a traveling JP2 head. You'll see that very soon. I'll bring it tomorrow. We can get a photo tomorrow at St. Rocco's.
You're gonna bring JP2, a bust of JP2 to church?
Yes. In the.
Excellent. All right, Bridget, do you have any final wisdom or words for us or anything?
I don't know if I have any wisdom. I don't know. Probably not. I don't know. Thank you for.
Someone's bringing the bus. Give it 1 second.
Yes, JP2.
JP2.
It's my sister. Hello, sister. Thanks, Gianna.
I found this when I was cleaning out. I found this
Thank you.
When I was
Where are
cleaning
his
out.
Shades?
What?
Where are his shades?
Oh,
an intellectual.
I need these.
There's a bug. There's no bug on my shirt. Someone said there's a bug on my shirt.
I think there's a bug on Andrew's shirt. No. I hope there's not.
Don't make me overthink.
Wait, if I
But when I was cleaning out Saint Hyacinth, because we just what was the sisters?
The Sisters of Mary, the Mother of the Eucharist, we're moving into a parish near to Andrew's house, so he's helping cleaning them out. I
work for a group of priests sometimes, and I help clean out the convent into now. It's now theirs, but it's a Polish parish, and the priests there before were Polish. So as you can see, JP2 bust. He's our buddy. He's going to be the traveling JP2 head with sunglasses. So tomorrow you'll see him at church. Hi, Mom. She's here. She's polar barely. She doesn't know how to comment though, so it's okay.
All right, so traveling JP2 head.
Yeah.
So he'll be at church with us tomorrow. Living from Melissa. She's my bestie. Excellent. Hi, Melissa. If you're
Hi.
So I think we'll wrap up for now. But that's pretty much all we have.
Oh, she does.
So yeah, I think we're gonna wrap up. Do you have anything else you want to share?
Follow me on TheBridge.Art.
Follow her.
Follow her down below, or
we're gonna tag her.
We're gonna post it on our story after this. Go follow her. Support her because she's starting an Etsy shop this week. She's gonna be starting an Etsy shop soon. So do it. But she makes amazing art, as you can see. We'll show it again, but as you can see, it's amazing. So go drop her a follow already. I don't know what you're doing if you're not. Oh.
Any inspiring artist, she shared that, I think, Mom, while you were kindly climbing up the stairs with our, with our holy face. So, this video will be available on our Instagram page. So if you want to review it, if you want to say, oh, she mentioned that saint that I forgot the name of, it will be available to check out. It'll be on IGTV. So, yeah, we'll share it there. So we're gonna sign off for now. We will be back in a little less than a week on December 16th with our very good friend, seminarian Dennis Gannon from our diocese, who's gonna be sharing his vocation story with us. Dennis is a very dear friend to us because he's the reason we met.
He is the that, and he'll probably give a little insight on that story. It'll probably, I don't know, it'll be a fun one and a little bit of a petty one because he wanted me to become a priest, but yeah. Sorry.
So yeah, we'll be back in a little less than a week with another live with Dennis Gannon, and thank you, Bridget.
Thank you, Bridget.
We'll see you in a minute because she's in the room next to us.
Bye. Thank you for joining. Drop a follow on both of our pages and have a blessed weekend.
Bye.
Bye.